Alicia, welcome to Coffee Chat. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. How are you, Jen?
I'm good. I'm so excited to have you here. Alicia is going to be in my upcoming movie, The Emotional Terrorist, and she's been working on some pretty cool projects. Alicia, for those that don't know you, could you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Allisha Pelletier. I am a actor, writer, and producer. Um, I started out as an actor. I've been doing that since high school, and in the last few years, I've got into writing and producing as well. Pretty much anything to stay creative and active in the industry, I will do.
And
Yeah.
how are you finding from the COVID? We're technically not out of the COVID transition, but I feel like it's less talked about now. But like, how are you finding going from like being locked in the house acting and now like the industry starting to open up more? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. I feel like we're one of the few industries that figured out a way to keep going really
Mm-hmm.
quickly. I mean, everything for auditioning went to Zoom. Production was still happening more
Mm-hmm.
so in the large productions because they had the money to, make
Yeah.
sure they were following COVID protocol. But I feel like on the indie level,
Mm-hmm.
there's just so much work right now, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Grateful to book little projects here and there to make sure I can pay my bills and survive. So yeah, it's really nice.
But you can't pay your bills as an actor? I mean, come
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
feel like that's a story like we as actors that are like trying to make this like a full-time gig. I feel like that's a story like we need to stop telling ourselves that like that we are but it is a job, that we are paid actors, right?
we
Like
are, and
okay.
it's so sad that some actors or just people in the industry in general are so scared to say that they have this other
Yeah.
full-time job or part-time job because they feel
Yeah.
like it credits them.
Yeah.
But the reality
Mm.
is there's slow seasons to this industry.
Yeah.
There's no consistent work
Mm.
unless you've got a wicked contract with a large company or something. But
Yeah.
it's inevitable. Like you have to
Yeah.
have a side hustle of some sort,
Yeah, well,
and it
even
doesn't
like the
credit
A-list
who you
actors,
are.
like Jeremy Renner and all of them, they had side gigs while they were starting out too. Like it's there's no shame in it at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you do what you got
Absolutely.
to do until you don't have to do it. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but you have some really awesome projects. Two Brothers just came out in the incredible series. Yeah.
Yeah,
There was,
drama series. It's a BIPOC LGBTQ plus series on Out TV, Amazon Prime in the US and UK,
yeah.
hopefully in Canada soon as well, and on Fearless. Uh, yeah, we're actually working on the season 2 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we're putting our pitch
exciting.
deck together and we're feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Um,
That
Andrew
last
Meekle,
episode, the cliffhanger.
oh yeah, oh my gosh. So yeah, I was just about to say Andrew Meekle, the creator and writer of
Yeah.
the show, started sharing some of the episodes for season 2, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, when you end on something like that
Yeah.
for season 1, you're gonna start hot for season 2. So we're really
Okay.
excited.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm excited to see it. For those that haven't seen it, I will link to it below so you can go check it out. It's an incredible series. I have some friends in it too, so I might be a little bit biased, but
Yeah.
I think it's an incredible series. And you also have Stony Losum, right? That's
Yeah.
so funny. I've been seeing the clips you've been sharing. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, this show just feeds my soul. It's a
Mm,
sketch comedy series.
mm,
Stony Lonesome. It's on Bell 5 TV
mhm.
currently. We are pitching to Crave the end of October, so
That's
we're hoping for
exciting.
a larger platform. We are in our
Yeah.
second season, so we're in the middle of shooting right now
Mhm.
um, for season 2, and it's funnier than
Is it?
season 1. Like we're in a rhythm now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different than most sketch shows in the sense that it's set in a town called Stony Lonesome. You have
Yeah.
regular, reoccurring characters, and there's a bit of
Mhm.
a story arc as well
Yeah.
and character arc. So
And
yeah,
you're one of the writers for it, correct?
yeah. So
Yeah.
writer, producer, and then star in it as well.
So how does that feel constantly wearing multiple hats on multiple productions?
It is the best freaking feeling in the world. I I feel like, and I think I can speak for a lot of people in this industry.
Yeah.
You kind of get addicted to the chaos of it all. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We get so busy when we're on a production
Yeah.
and you work the long hours, you're so stressed out, and then you come off of it and you're like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm
Yeah.
bored.
Oh yeah.
You're restless. So when you wear many
Mm.
hats, I mean, there's a lot of thrill involved. It's exciting. You feel
Yeah.
involved, you feel accomplished, you're
Mhm.
like you have meaning, purpose. So
Yeah. I feel
yeah,
like it
it's a
gets
lot
like,
to manage. It's great.
but it's control too, right? Where like now you're not like waiting for a casting director to like hand you something, right? You're going out and you're creating your own career, which I feel is like so it's freeing and it's
Mhm.
taking your power back almost, right? Where you're like, okay, so I'm not going to wait for life to happen to me. I'm going to create life. Yeah. Yeah.
You said it. I
Yeah.
spent so many years in my
Mm,
career just waiting.
mm,
And I have a great agreement with my agent. Like I'm always
mm,
submitting myself for smaller projects that I know she
mm.
wouldn't submit me for. We work well together
Yeah.
that way. And because I've always wanted to have some control over my career, my
Mm.
success,
Yeah.
and an actor, it's hard to
Yeah.
have that control. So I recommend to anyone in this industry to wear other hats,
Yeah.
to start producing your own work,
Mhm.
learn anything and everything you can in the industry so you can,
Mm.
thrive. Otherwise, this industry will eat you up.
Yeah,
So
it also makes you a better actor too, understanding the different roles of a set, right? Like you can wear a producer hat, you can wear a director hat, like you can wear the
mhm,
cameraman's hat, right? Just like see from their perspective of how something's going to happen on screen. And I feel like that makes you a better actor because you
yeah,
understand those points of view. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, and working with everyone too, like how to
yeah,
communicate and just
yeah,
understanding each other.
yeah,
When you're just an actor and you don't understand anything outside of, your character, what you're supposed to do,
yeah,
there's a bit of a disconnect with everyone. But when
mhm,
you understand everyone's job, you work together
mhm,
as a whole to make
yeah.
something incredible, and
Mhm.
it's a lot more fun. You get more out of it.
Yeah, and you're invested more too, right? Because it's not just you're showing up to set, you do your job, you go home, you're done,
Yeah.
right? It's like this is your baby. This is what you're
Yeah.
creating, and like you're invested in every aspect of it. So um it's I think it's more like rewarding um
Yeah.
to do something like that as well. So and being a female in the
100%.
industry, how does that feel? Wearing director's
Yeah.
hats, producer hats, like I didn't realize um I hadn't experienced up until this year what it was like to be a female producer, and I hadn't gotten the male versus female vibe until I became a producer this year.
Yeah.
Um like
You'll be
not from,
challenged.
yeah, like not from anybody from like TET, but like from like outside of TET, I started to experience that
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. It wasn't until I started getting into larger
Yeah.
roles where I felt
Yeah.
like I was being really challenged.
Yeah.
I don't, I mean, already we're in a very egotistical industry.
Yeah.
But then being a woman, I feel like
Mm.
you have to be bold. Like you have to really, I don't know, I'm trying to find the right words. You kind of have to make your presence be known. Like you need
Yeah.
to be really strong. You've got to have,
Yeah.
a backbone in order to
Mhm.
to do this job, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, I feel like it's also surrounding yourself with the right people, right? It's knowing
Mhm.
like on TET, we have such good male presence on TET, I feel. Like
Yeah.
they're all very team and they have our backs, and like that's the experience that I wanted to create and the environment that I wanted to create where outside of TET, not on like any current productions I'm working on, but I have experience from other people talking to them before we
I
put it
like how
together.
you're being so careful with your words.
Well, I don't want, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but at the
I
same
know,
time,
but this
yeah,
is a perfect example though,
yeah,
is like we have to constantly be
yeah,
careful.
yeah,
We have to be careful what we say. We don't want to be difficult.
yeah,
we slip up just a little bit
Yeah.
and they're after us.
Yeah.
You
And
can't show any weakness either. Like it's,
yeah.
yeah.
And I get, I'm a new producer, and I get like sometimes it's like, sometimes I feel like they're coming from a place where they're trying to help, but it's coming off a little pushy or a little forward.
Yeah.
But sometimes you meet those people that you can tell they're just very egotistical and they just want to push their agenda. And when you push back, they get very offended. Like, who are you to tell me this kind of vibe? And I feel like the vibe they give off, it's because you're female, and because, and I think it's also because I'm new too, but
it's a combination, but you can always tell the difference. And I think only women know what that feels like, or just like, I guess, yeah, it's not fun. But I will say, like, over the years, I've had to learn to find my voice, and then when to step my foot down. And now I just absolutely refuse to work with anyone who's going to undermine me, disrespect me, or disrespect anyone on my set.
Yeah.
I won't, it's a zero tolerance, like no bull crap. So.
And that's the thing, is like, I don't approach set like men versus women, like, oh my gosh, like I want all females here. Like, it's like, no, it's not that. It's like, I just want to be viewed as your equal on the set, like that.
Be respected.
Yeah. And
kindness.
And I want you to view yourself, like, I want everybody on set to feel equal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want anybody to feel like they're less than anyone else on set. Everybody's role is important there. Otherwise you wouldn't be there. Like, it doesn't matter if you're crew or no matter if you're an actor, like, you are so important. Otherwise you wouldn't be on the set. Yeah.
I've been super fortunate. The cast and crew, two brothers, we're family.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't start out as family. We, when we casted, everyone was new. We didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
And over the time, because we made sure that their personalities were a good fit as well, we do everything together now.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Stony Lonesome, we lucked out. We're like a family on set too. It's how it should be.
Yeah. And that's the fun thing, is when you become family like that, then you want to work together on other things. And then you start bringing those people back in, right? For other
these are my people now.
Yeah, these are your people.
I will take them everywhere with me. Where I go, they go. Where they go, I go. That's it.
Yeah.
We grow and rise together.
Yeah, for sure. For those that don't know, I met Alicia at the Two Brothers premiere. Yeah. Up until then, we didn't know each other.
This show has brought such incredible people into my life, like you, and then you've introduced me to some other great people too. It's it's such a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. And like, now, like, on this project that we're working on, The Emotional Terrorist, we've got a lot of Two Brothers cast coming in. And we've also got like a lot of the people that I've worked with on other productions, we've got them coming in, and it's like a mini like reunion for like certain productions, like combined on like other films. So it's fun that way. Pardon?
The best of the best.
The best of the best. We have some incredible talent, but what I love the most about after like the first read is just the vibe of everyone together, right? Like, it's just such incredible people that we have involved, besides like the incredible talent that comes out of these. Totally. And I'm excited to share some of the lines as audios on Instagram and TikTok. I think you know which ones I mean. The ones that people like lose, they had to stop for a minute and they were laughing their heads off. So like, stay tuned for that. We have some incredible talent saying some pretty funny things. Production company, correct? Or do you? Okay.
No, I don't. I work with other production companies.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to create a production company is, one of the reasons I told you before is like, you take control of your career, right? Where you're not just like sitting around waiting. But it was also to give opportunity to people that I know that are so bloody talented, that aren't necessarily A-list actors, but they're up and coming rising stars, or maybe they're new actors and they're so talented. And I wanted to give them an opportunity to really show people what they can do. And that was a big thing of also creating this production company, is to give constant work to these people and showcase them, like, let the world see what they can do and write roles that are perfect for them, that they can showcase who they are. and what they bring to that role. And I feel as actors, we sometimes don't get those opportunities when we're like sitting around waiting. We're like, oh, like I wish somebody would just like write this role for me, or I wish I could do that role.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, we appreciate you. We sure appreciate you.
but you'll see that when you watch the movie is the people we've plugged in, like your character, Nancy, like Johnny as Liam, like when you watch these people on screen, you will see their personalities come out.
Yeah.
Which is when you know somebody's a good fit for something, because it's like, it's them on the screen in that situation.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if you find that when you're writing, like it's easier to write when you know who's going to be in the role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I picture everything in my mind, and it's easier when I have a face. I know, I even know what like their biomechanics will be a little bit, like how they would say those lines. I look like a crazy person when I'm writing, because I'm like typing, and I'll kind of like take on the persona a little bit so I can get a feel of what they'd say. Otherwise, I find it really difficult to write dialogue. Like,
and that was the thing too.
know.
When I started writing, I'm like, I need to have our main cast at least in order to write this, so that I can picture it, so I can write it the way they would say it, right?
Yeah.
When I'm writing Liam, like I can hear Johnny saying these lines. I can hear like Mike
his voice
stuff. Yeah. So it makes it so much easier though. And it also brings it to life in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inspired and excited to keep writing and finish the project.
Yeah. So how did you really get into writing? Like, was it because you wanted to create your own stuff to give yourself an opportunity, or is it, did you love writing, or how did that come to play?
How did that come to play? I always wanted to write my own stuff.
Okay.
I would write a lot of like useless short stories, whatever. I don't even know. I technically write every day. Like I enjoy the act of writing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until Stony Lonesome.
Okay.
Where the like main producer was like, hey, do you want to come on as a writer? And I was like, what?
Really? That's
I mean,
awesome.
I felt like I was not equipped to do it.
Yeah.
But then I got out of my own way, and I was like, yeah, I know comedy. Like I can do this. And then I found out that I love it, and I felt inspired to write other things. And now I'm working on my own series that's also a comedy. And I don't know.
Did you take any courses on writing?
I did at Second City, just for sketch specifically, because formatting and everything. But no, I didn't go to school for writing. Honestly, I didn't go to school for anything. Like, I'm going to be completely honest here. It's amazing that I've been successful at all, because I didn't go to university. I didn't go to film school. I didn't go to theater school or anything like that. I didn't learn how to become a producer or director. I just learned by doing. I took a lot of private training throughout the year, especially for acting. But no, I feel like you learn a lot by just immersing yourself in do whatever it is you want to learn, like just be active. So and
that is like the truest form of learning, right? It's like just actually like taking that step and just going and doing the thing. Like you can read a book on swimming, but do you really know how to swim until you physically go and learn how to swim?
And I think I'll always feel like I'm I have a lot more to learn, or I'm not well prepared. And I think that will just help me continue to grow. I have so much more to learn as a writer and producer, especially. Because I feel like those are fairly new to me.
But that's the thing, right? Like we should be lifelong learners. Like if we're in a room and there's nobody smarter than us, then we're in the wrong room if we're learning.
Exactly.
So it's like honestly, it's a lifelong process of continuing to learn, because every day, like I try and learn something new. I try. It doesn't always happen, but I try. Because I always want to be improving, even if it's just like 1%, right?
Yeah, exactly.
1% better. But I love that you touched on imposter syndrome.
It's such a real thing.
It is. It's a pandemic across the world.
It's half my job. Half of my job, I would say, is making sure that I stay on track mentally. because I'm constantly juggling so many things, and there's
Mm,
so much stress, so much
mm,
pressure. And then, the acting side, constantly being told no, not feeling
yeah,
like you're good enough. So
yeah,
I have these daily exercises just to
mm,
make sure that I am like mentally okay.
yeah.
Half the work. Like I will sit at my desk for what feels like a couple hours of the day, and I'm like, what the frick did I accomplish? And it's like,
Yeah,
oh no, tackling my mind during that time. I was
yeah.
staying organized. I have this like, I'm so old school. I have a passion planner.
Oh,
It
nice.
has, like
Yeah.
yeah. And there's all these check-ins as well. And I just spend so much time with this,
Mm,
making sure like I feel like I'm organized,
mhm,
mental check-ins, make sure I'm hitting my goals. And then I do my morning pages,
yeah,
get out all the bull crap out of my head,
yeah.
do
Brain
some
down.
replanning, and then I start my day.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we are constantly, if we are not doing something, it's sometimes that we are self-sabotaging ourselves
Yeah.
by
Always
getting
feel
in
that
our own
way.
way, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And that comes from the stories and beliefs we're telling ourselves, right? Where the funny thing is, if you learn about the brain, is that the brain doesn't know the difference between reality and a story.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make up any story you want. That's the one you're choosing to tell yourself. Yeah.
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 Yep.
If you repeat that story over and over again and you imagine the different senses of it and what that feels like, the audio, like the smell, like your entire surroundings, if you make that up in your head and you keep repeating that to yourself, your brain's going to start thinking that that's your reality instead of
That's
the
your
other
reality.
story. Yeah. So,
Exactly.
so you can choose to tell yourself the story that you actually want, or you can keep choosing to tell yourself the bullcrap story where you're not good enough. Like,
Yeah.
it's all in how you're going to frame it in your head, and that's what's going to set you up for success or failure.
Yep. Tackling those, what do they call them? Ants,
Yeah.
automatic negative thoughts.
Yeah. It's such a huge thing though in this industry where like you go into acting, it's like, no, I just need to learn how to act. It's like, no, you need to know how to act. You need to take care of your mindset, and you need to learn business and marketing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's the thing, is people going into it, they don't realize that this is like, you're your product, you're creating a business. And I feel like it's 80% mental. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Because you
Usually.
get more rejection in 1 week than some people get in an entire year.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And
I wonder how I've made it through.
well, you have to, so I was putting so much pressure on myself going into auditions. I had an eating disorder, okay, back in high school. And I got through it. It took about 10 years to finally get through like the mental aspect of it, where I like wasn't freaking out stepping on a scale. But then I got triggered again when I started acting, because a producer, I went through 2 auditions. I got the role. He told me I beat out like 300 other girls, but I wasn't thin enough. So I wasn't thin enough to play the hero because it was like an action thing.
Makes me
So
so angry.
so that triggered me for a year. So every audition I was going into for a year, I was letting myself self-sabotage me going into it, because the mind trash would start like, oh, they're not going to hire me because I'm not thin enough. They're not going to hire me because I'm not thin enough. And I feel, so I went to this transformational coaching program, and that was what made me get through that, was that I feel like when you disassociate your self-worth from the audition,
Yes. Yeah.
then it's just an audition. You go and you do your job, you leave it there, and you walk out, right?
It's easier said than done,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't take a lot to derail you
yeah.
in this industry. It
Yeah.
could be the smallest thing. Like I've had some horrible things happen, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm tough. I can get through this. And then like the smallest thing happens, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not worthy. You just like totally go off the deep end.
Yeah.
I only allow myself to do that for like
Yeah.
a hot minute, and then I'm like, no, girl.
Then we're back.
No.
And you get,
Absolutely
so
not.
you, like, to this day, I still have things that derail me, but I find that I'm better at getting back on track.
Yeah.
Because
As opposed to it being a year or 6 months or a couple
Yeah.
weeks, like you can do it in a shorter period of time.
well,
Yeah.
you start recognizing these self-damaging behavior, right? You're like going, no, no, nope, this is where we're going. Nope, Jen, nope, back up, nope. We're not
Yeah.
doing this today.
We've chosen such a messed up lifestyle.
Yeah, well, it's messed up, but it's also super rewarding, right? Because it can lead to so many different things. Like, I love that Kristen Bell and Chris Evans are using their careers to help make the world better, right? Like Kristen Bell, she's got This Saves Lives. She's got Hello Bello. Hello Bello helps parents that can't afford baby stuff, so it's at a lower cost. And This Saves Lives. Every snack bar you buy, you help saving a life across the world. And Chris Evans, he's bringing light to politics in a way where kids are learning this stuff, and it's in a way where we understand it and can make a difference. And it's not like biased one-sided opinions. It's unbiased, where you're just getting the information, which gets people involved, which then helps better the planet, right? When you get people involved. So
using the platform to do good.
Yeah. So as actors, we have that, it's not only a responsibility, but we have that privilege of being able to use our careers to also help, right? And not everyone gets to do that. So I'm very grateful that we have those platforms and we do get to do that. And if we choose to do so, we can expand on it. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. I'm going to ask you one more question before I let you go. What is your best advice to your younger self?
Let me just roll up, scroll. No, to my younger self. Oh my gosh, I guess stick in there, like just like stick it out, hold in there, stick it out, hold in there.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going. I feel like over the last 10 years, I kept feeling like the next big thing was right around the corner. I always felt that. And I'm so grateful that I did, because I mean, 10 years later, and like that next big thing is like, feels like it's never coming, right?
Yeah.
But always just feeling like, I don't know, like I'm gonna make it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just always constantly manifesting that. Just keep doing it. I don't know. Yeah.
One or the other till you get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Often people give up right before that big thing happens.
And it shouldn't be an option.
Yeah.
It always bothers me when someone's like, oh, like what point, Alicia, are you gonna decide to, pull the plug and get a real career or whatever? And it's just like, no, that's not an option. That hasn't been an option for a very long time.
Yeah.
I would tell people, not so much my younger self, but other people getting into this industry, if you have already planted an out for yourself, you're not going to be successful. If this is what you want to do, it's going to require a lot of sacrifice, a lot of heartache, but it can't be an option to quit.
Yeah.
And when you have that mentality, it makes it a lot easier, especially during the hard times. And, at any moment I've felt a little bit of weakness. I've had incredible support from my parents and loved ones to be just, like, we see you in this industry being successful. Giving up is not an option. I'm like, yes, giving up is not an option. Giving up is not an option.
Well, and it's the mindset too, right? So you have to approach your career like you're already there, right?
Already there. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, that's a big practice of manifestation. It's having that in the present, the moment right now.
Because what happens when you do that is you're telling your brain you're already there. So now you are the person that's going to act like the person that's already there. Because
it's now part of your reality.
If you're participating in life at person A, but you want to be person B, you're going to stay at person A. So you got to be the person at person B to get to B. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So true. People who don't believe in that stuff, I'm just like,
But that's the way the brain works, because if you're telling yourself that story, your brain's putting that into your reality, and your brain's going to look for things in life that's going to make that reality for you.
100%.
Yeah. I love it. I love your advice. Okay. So where's the best places for people to find you so that they can go watch all your stuff and follow you?
Yeah, I guess the best place to follow me is probably Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is at Allisha.Pelletier. So my name's spelled a little different. ALLISHA.PELLETIER. I'm also on Twitter, but I don't really tweet. And
I found you on Twitter. I'm like, she's not really active here. I'm gonna follow
her. I just got back on it recently, and I was like, oh, look at me and all my 35 followers. Yeah, really making an impact.
And then you have a website too, correct?
I do. You know
Okay.
what? That can be found on my Instagram. I have my
Okay.
website, my link tree with
Perfect.
everything there. Yeah.
Cool. I will link to all that below this episode so you can go
Perfect.
find Alicia and check out all of her stuff. So again, they can find you Two Brothers, Out TV, Amazon Prime, UK and US, correct?
And Watch Fearless as well.
Watch Fearless, and then Stony Losum's on Bell 5 TV1, correct?
You got it.
So go watch those if you get a chance. And Alicia, thank you so much for joining me on Coffee Chat. It's such a pleasure having you.
Thanks, Jen. Always love our chats. I look forward to seeing you soon as well.
Okay, awesome. Bye, Alicia.
Bye.